Hello, this tutorial is going to help walk you through how to take this graphic organizer that you've been writing on and to be able to put it into your outline. So what I wanted to show you first was the graphic organizer. What you're going to notice, I'm going to talk you through the graphic organizer, which is in front of you right now, and how to take these specific examples and put them into your essay outline. It's really, really important that you put them next to the place that the tutorial tells you to put them next to. Otherwise, your outline is going to get all messed up. The only things that you should be typing next to right now are your specs and your analysis. You should leave your A, 1, and 2 and B, 1, and 2s blank, and we'll come back to those with another tutorial that I have later on. So right now, in front of me, I have the governmental specs collection that we did in class. What you're going to do is you're going to take what you have written in 1A as your specific example. So it should say, according to the text, quotation marks, whatever the quote is, with a citation at the end. You're going to take that and you're going to put it into the outline, which I'm going to show you momentarily. So this is the essay outline that we talked about in class. And what you're going to do is you're going to go where it says your first specs under A. This is your political section. So everything under the 2 is political. And the only things we're typing next to are specs and analysis. So this specs would be 1A and this specs would be 1B. So right now, pause the tutorial, go on to from your graphic organizer. This would be your government specs 1A. I want you to type the specs now. Then when you finish that, so pause, then I want you to type your government specs 1B next to where it says specs. And notice that I did not type next to A1 or 2. I left those blank on purpose. From there, you should type your analysis statement. Remember, your analysis should first recognize the spec. So it should say 1A was more advanced than 1B, and that's going to depend on your spec. So it could be like the Persian satraps were more advanced than the Athenian assembly. Then you're going to explain 1A was more advanced because, and you should finish the statement. And then you're going to say 1B was less advanced because, and then finish your thought. Okay? Then you're going to turn your paper over, and I'll pause quickly to show you. So this is looking back at the graphic organizer, and I've turned my paper over. You're going to notice this time it's labeled as 2A and 2B. So this will be the next spec set that you'll do. Once again, leaving B, 1, 2 blank, and only filling in the specs and analysis. So back to the outline. So we're back in the outline and we're under the B section for part 2. Here, you're going to type your 2A specs for government. And here you're going to type your 2B specs for government. You're going to notice once again that I've left B and 1 blank and 2 blank. Then you're going to go down to analysis, and just like you did, remember, the analysis should already be written on your paper. It's the box underneath the specs. You're going to take those 3 sentences and you're going to type it out under this section, because this analysis explains how these 2 specs support the thesis. Okay? So this tutorial is just to help you get your specs and your analysis in. We're going to talk about formatting later. For part 3, this is where it's going to get a little tricky. In class, you chose one of 4 options: military, economic, cultural, or social. You're going to follow the same pattern as you did for government. So for instance, if this was social, 1A specs would go here, and 1B specs would go here. Okay? Then I would type my analysis just like I did for 1A and 1B right under the specs once I finished. So this is your analysis for A. And you would type that out under the box set for 1A and 1B. Then you would go to B and you would take your social, your cultural, your military, or your economic 2A and type it here. And one of those options 2B and type it here. Once again, you're going to notice, and I've repeated myself, I know, but I'm leaving A1, 2, B1, and 2 blank. We will come back to them later. And then your 2A and 2B analysis, type it underneath, okay? And for the pattern, for 4, you're going to do the same exact thing with your third topic. 1A and 1B go, 1A goes here, 1B goes here, and your analysis for 1A and 1B goes right under A. Then you go down to B and you do the same thing again, 2A, 2B, and your analysis for 2A and 2B. So that's how you set up the formatting to get ready to work on the outline, which will actually be both an in-class instruction and another tutorial that you'll have to watch. Good luck, and let me know if you have any questions.